Here in the streets of New York City, continuing the New York series. Look at this building. An M1 mixed area, industrial and housing for people. Going to a luncheon today. We got a leaky fire hydrant here. The fire hydrants of my youth, where we used to put the cap on and cool off in the summer. Some unlikely residents of the Bronx, caught presumably right here in the East River, the Harlem River, or all the waterways that surround the area in this part of the South Bronx. Not much in the fruit and vegetable line. And here we go, still walking up towards Bruckner Blvd. The wide streets of the Bronx. I'm not sure if that's actually a health warning from the people who make Dunkin' Donuts, but I thought it was quite appropriate. Lovely building, sitting empty on the corner of Brown Place and Bruckner Blvd. One of the many bridges in the area. Sorry, my knowledge is shrinking of my beloved city here. It's a wet, rainy summer day. Just give you a little scape of where we are in the Bronx before we start heading back and speak to the artists, the graffiti of New York. Nice street in the Bronx where we'll be having lunch today with the artists in this mixed area. Bike lane to Randall's Island. Look at that. All the way down from the South Bronx to Randall's Island. And we're under the train bridge. It's the Metro North. Can you say that again, Eileen? Tell me about the bridge.
It's the Hellgate Bridge, which is the Amtrak and also CSX line, and it's one of the oldest steel bridge structures from turn of the century, 1900-something.
Wow, excellent.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful bridge.
And what am I looking at? If I go straight over there,
That's the East River down there.
East River, right at the end of the road. Very cool. There's the train bridge. Steel bridge from the turn of the century. Lovely construction, look at that. Barbed wired containers behind this barbed wire fence. I'm going to shoot down to there's the fence there, and on the other side these sheet metal. And we got about, I don't know, 2 feet of earth there. And I'm just going to pen over a little more. We got some greenery. And what's this, Dan?
These are peppers. That looks like almost like eggplant. But we got, listen, I'm in the Bronx right now, on 132nd Street and Willow Avenue, and we're looking at peppers on the strip of land, 2 feet wide, with more peppers. And look at these tomatoes, Joe. Tomatoes right here in the Bronx on 2 feet of land. This is a great example, Joe, of how much food you can produce on next to no land. That's why this is so important, to show this sort of yield in the Bronx, with the fence and some corrugated sheet metal and 2 feet of land, 2 feet of soil, right here, growing food. It doesn't get better than that. Chef Daniel Enzalata, an environmental artist at 132nd Street and Willow Avenue in the Bronx. Thank you.
In the heart of the South Bronx, or the tip of the South Bronx even. That previous picture was the bridge to Manhattan, Queens, part of the Triborough, now known as the RFK Bridge. Nothing lasts forever. The tip of the street that will be So you have the industrial area touching the housing area in this section of the Bronx. Big factory. And this building right here is an old piano string factory. From the streets of the Bronx here, in this residential area, this mixed area, this residential mix, we step into a very lovely apartment right here in the heart of it all. And let's see what's going on here. There you go. Eileen.
Hi. This is my home.
Eileen's home. Eileen, so tell me, what's going on here? Well, tell me a little about this neighborhood.
This is Port Morris, which is an industrial and living area by the East River and also the Bronx Kill. We're about half a mile from Randall Island. We'd like to go out there, can walk there over the Triborough. It's a cool, unknown neighborhood.
Right. And what's happening? What's going on in this building right here?
This building is my home, but it's also going to house a residency program for artists and a gallery in the lower floor.
Wow, and is this area building up in any way as well? The surrounding area with like projects?
Yeah, well, definitely. There's a distillery, the Port Morris Distillery, and they're doing a lot of art shows there. Our neighbors are all artists. There's a lot of housing and a lot of good warehouse space, so it's become very artist-heavy, this neighborhood. So we're going to be one of the first galleries, but I think there'll be more soon.
Wow, the Bronx on the rise. Thank you. Do you mind if I just tour your apartment real quick?
Please do.
Thanks. There you go. Nice. Look at the back garden here. Little. Wow. Here we go, everybody. The Bronx. Lovely dinner. We see a familiar face from a Barrett's interview. Hey, Dan.
Hey there, Joe. What's up? How are you?
Good. Very well. What are you doing?
I am making a Casa Primavera for a bunch of Bronx artists here in the Bronx. That's where they are. And so I will be roasting these carrots soon. We're going to make a nice Casa Primavera, which will be ready for 6:30. All fresh, wonderful ingredients. Now, the secret to roasting vegetables great is to put the pan in the oven first. Put the pan in, and that is wicked hot. So listen to this, Joe. Put that microphone there. You hear that? That means it's already cooking. And here we have poached garlic. You see that? Smell that, Joe. Smell that. Is that a, is that crazy or what?
I wish my microphone could pick up that scent.
Well, you need a scent mic. So seriously.
I need a smellophone.
Smellophone. Because that's coming, though, Joe. That's coming. It's down.
How are you, Yolanda?
Fine.
And what part of the world are you from?
I'm from Mexico City. The center of the earth is called Tenochtitlan, and that's where I came from. And my family was artists, and I have a big background of artists. And I actually was born where Frida Kahlo was born, in the Casa Azul in Coyoacán. That's my background. And now I live in Connecticut, and I'm coming here to the Bronx to be with some very wonderful friends from the Bronx, the 200 artists, and also Eileen, which was a Connecticut. She's actually Connecticut, so we're having wonderful time with the friends, and I do images with sort of like Frida Kahlo. I take portraits of myself, and I like to reproduce the images. I'm an image maker in any form or way that I can reproduce the image. Printmaking, silk screen, and the plates, and also paper. And right now I'm really experimenting with Photoshop. And I always like to also introduce myself as a person with my hands. So I always put all the elements that you can tell that I have drawn into the image from Photoshop. And I have an exhibition right now in London in Expresiones. And it's all about mooms. And I don't know where the mooms came, but I usually find out about my work 2 years after. Like, they come very intuitively, and I let myself go, and everything's a guess. And that's how I work with my artwork.
Excellent, excellent. And the connection with the Bronx artists was that through Daniel, or how was that?
Only with Daniel, 200 artists, and also Eileen. I start seeing Eileen that she moved to the Bronx, and she started connected to me through Facebook. And Daniel, we've been friends for a while, and he just was elected this year as the 200 artists. So I've been coming to the Bronx every week. There's always something doing in Bronx.
Okay, excellent. So we got the connection. The Bronx. What were the 3 Bs again?
Oh yeah, the 3 Bs, Biarritz, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Bridgeport, and the Bubble.
Oh, wow, we got lots of Bs going on. Okay, thank you very much, Yolanda. And I look forward to sitting at that table with you later and eating that lovely looking pasta primavera.
Yes, thank you, Joe. And it's wonderful to have you here.
Thank you, Yolanda. Bye. Okay, here we are at the still at our afternoon lunch, and I'm speaking to Susie, who's she's an artist, but she's not part of the BX200 project. But obviously, all these artists hang out with each other. So, Susie, quickly tell me where you're from, actually, Susie.
I'm actually from Ireland, from Cork, and I've been coming over here just a little bit for a month or 2 months for the last couple of years, you know.
And how did you hook up with this BX200 project?
It's actually through Laura. I met Laura through Valerie Larco, and then I met everybody. I met Eileen through Laura and Valerie Larco then as well. You know,
It's a tight-knit sort of the artist community, so do you start meeting people through the artist community, and it sounded like an interesting project. Have you been to the museum?
in the Bronx. Yeah, it's really cool. I was at the opening and everything, you know. I think this thing is going to be really important. I think it's going to really take off. It reminds me of something that I did years ago myself in Ireland, in Cork, which I co-founded. It was sort of, you know, an arts festival, well, visual art thing, you know, and it was really cool. It was for artists, by artists. You know, no real sort of curatorial input besides that. And I think this is kind of the same, you know. I really like it. I like the kind of feel of it, you know.
Very good. Well, thank you for speaking to me today, and we'll speak to a few more people, maybe even Laura. I haven't met Laura yet. Okay. Bye, Susie.
Bye. Thank you, Joe.
Enjoy the meal. Great. Okay, so Valerie and Peter just walked in the room, and she's brought with her. Tell us what that is there, Val.
This is Bronx Pale Ale, made 3 blocks from Eileen's apartment. This brewery is amazing. It's some of the best pale ale you will ever taste. And I'm telling you, we came to the Bronx Brewery before we came here because this beer is so damn good.
And it's available at Trader Joe's?
It's available at Trader Joe's, but it's also available on 136th Street in the Bronx. Go to their tasting room for the best damn beer you will ever have.
Whoa, look at that. Lovely. Now it's a Bronx Pale Ale. Let's zoom in on that box. Brewed right here in the heart of the South Bronx. Very, very cool. I'm going to sip one of those now. Thank you. Well, I'm loving this Pale Ale, and I'm going to have a little shot of me having a glug.
Ladies and gentlemen, I went to the circus as a kid. It's always that guy with. Welcome to the Bronx, Eileen Walsh's house and her first event. Yes, is that true?
A warming party. A warming house party.
Thank you for coming to my house, and you're my first guest, my first dinner, and I'm so happy to have you.
I'd like to thank Laura personally and Joe Diamede behind the camera. Without him, I wouldn't be standing here. A videotape was made in the Bronx and put all over the internet. And Laura saw this, I believe, and invited me to join the Bronx 200 artists, of which I'm very proud of. And And I have to say, I am standing here in awe of this because that is the power of the internet. It really, really works. Take it 2 times a day with plenty of beer. This beer, by the way. Thank you. And I'd like to hand off the mic to who? Anyone?
Peter.
Valerie.
Peter. Say something about the Bronx Brewery. There you go.
Oh, the Bronx Brewery is one of the quintessential cornerstones of the Bronx. It uses beautiful space and the most amazing water from the New York aquifer to make a beverage that is second to none. Cheers to the Bronx Brewery.
Cheers to the Bronx.
Okay, who else?
Susie, you're from Ireland. The international flavor.
Hello. Testing. No, I just want to thank everyone here just for including me. I first got to know Valerie, and through Valerie I got to know Laura, and then Eileen, and himself over there, and Peter, and all of you, and Tom Jones. and yeah, it's lovely. I'm really happy to be included, so thanks.
Say something about Ireland.
And Ireland's so pretty. We've terrible weather, but yeah, if you can get over that, you'd actually like Ireland. So, so I hand you over to Eileen.
All right. And the reason for the party is it's Miss Yolanda's birthday, an old friend.
That was in the past.
Well, it's a little past, but Yolanda's a good friend for a long time, and I'm glad we've continued.
Salute to that.
To Yolanda.
To good friendship. And I'm here as a transplant from Mexico City to the Bronx, to Connecticut, and who knows what's next. But I'm very happy to be here with all my new friends. And some Mexicans in the right. I feel like some strength in here. And, ¿dónde? Chileno, y un chileno a la derecha. Y una a la derecha. Yeah, and we're just very happy with watermelon salad and Daniel's pasta and shrimp from the supermarket down the hill and some Japanese sauces in here. So we're happy.
Oh, we love the Bronx. From the Bronx Brewery to the Bronx artists to our wonderful Bronx friends all here today, including our friends from Bridgeport and Westport and beyond, and France and Ireland. It's a wonderful day today in the Bronx.
Well, thank you for being here. I'm just glad to be here with all of you beautiful people. All right.
Oh, look, those are right. Well, happy Pride, everyone. Just very grateful to be here today, this evening, to enjoying a meal with all of you. I feel very happy to be part of this community here in the Bronx. It's been a wonderful bless to be part of BX200 and just to get to know one and each of you. So thank you for that. And thank you, Eileen, for having us all over.
And here's the meal. Pasta primavera, the finished product, and the lovely salad, and Laura. Thank you, Laura. Well, serving the first plate at least. The first plate is being served. The BX200, Housewarming of Eileen's, 2015. Laura, yeah, how you doing, Laura?
Hello.
So tell me, you're not going to eat cake, but why are you here? Why are you here, Laura? Are you an artist?
So I can eat cake.
You're only here to eat cake.
And it's happening, so.
Okay. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, the BX 200, they're artists, so forgive their singing, okay? Thanks. And the first cut.
The cake is delicious. Thank you, Laura. For the cake. It's a
Empty tables. And tearful goodbyes.
See you soon.